Hey guys, husky voice again. Clumsy here, and welcome back to the stream. I am back. Good evening, good morning. How's everyone doing? Back again on Explain, and back from vacation, semi. Thanks for joining. We have Evan as our first, Alex. Thanks for joining, and Jack. Yarr. As the last. How are you guys doing? Yeah, Bali hangover, definitely. The days went by so fast, and I decided on this flight, particularly because of the amazing flight I had yesterday on the way back from Bali to Singapore. Some amazing sights, some amazing views. So I thought to myself, why not? Let's try it out and let's see. So I can at least share it with you on the stream. And I have been sharing a few stories in Instagram. It's quite fun how that entire Instagram stories goes. Getting a bit on the social media side. So feel free to check it out. Some plane specific stories there on the way back. Anyway, how have you guys been doing? Have you been trucking? Doing a lot of actress tuning, trucking in Hungary. Oh, and yeah, by the way, some new stuff here in Explain. I went ahead and bought World Traffic 3 so we can go and check it out. Unfortunately, this airport in particular does not have any taxi route, so we won't see any planes taxiing. But when we get to Singapore, that airport does have a taxi route, so we will be able to see some planes just taxiing to the runway and stuff like that. Here it's a bit more quiet, but the amazing thing is it simulates all the real life planes, all the liveries, all the different schedules. So we can actually see that. If I there should be a key here. I think it's F9, which I set. That's the guy. It even comes with its own sounds, and then you get some pretty nice details on the lower left. What's the aircraft type? So this is an A320. What's the route? And does it say what kind of the flight number? Quebec Golf 684 CityLink. Not familiar with the airline. We have an Emirates here, about to land actually. Oh, that's cool. Alright, let's have a look at this guy. So we should be seeing ourselves on the left side. This is what I was doing yesterday as I was waiting for the plane. I was just looking at the runway because the gates for waiting are in perfect view of this runway. So I was just looking at all the planes that are landing. It's super cool. You can see there in front, might be hard to see, but there's just a plane which took off from the same runway. And now there is this plane arriving. Been bussing. Oh, nice. What have you been bussing on? Fern bus? There we go. Look at that beauty. Flap set, landing gears down, everything, does the flare and everything. Even opens the reversers and deploys the speed brakes. How cool is that, right? Yeah, unfortunately this plane will disappear because there is no taxi route in this airport, as I mentioned. But yeah, there we are on the back there. Super cool. You can see at the back there, a couple of planes about to land as well. I think I see 2 planes or 3 planes there at the back. Just midges, but you see one of them is actually landing already. That's pretty risky thing. Look at that. Yeah, that will disappear. And then there's one more at the back coming up ahead, which will disappear again. So if you have a very well designed airport, like if it's done by one of the nice modders out there, which has taxi routes and everything, so this will have a very nice implementation as well. You have been pirating DVDs. Oh, that sounds scary. goodness. Those are the sites that we'll be seeing later, I think. Yeah. Hey Barry, glad you made it. How are you? Ah, you found a bus mod for ETS that actually works. Is this the Scania or a different one? Anyway, right. So you see there one more landing plane. Yeah, I can just stay here and do plane spotting the entire day. Actually, I think this guy is taking off. No, he has his reversers on. He just landed. Super cool. So we should be able to see the Jetstar flight, my actual flight, in here later. Let's have a look. It should be in the list. I think I should be able to. Oh, you won't be able to see because my face is blocking it. So if I go display flight info for airport, I think, and if I go for departures, let me see. One sec, huh? Departure time is 06:25, something like that. Let me get back to you in a bit. Just looking for that particular flight. I don't see it. Did I miscalculate here? Departure. Anyway, we'll try and see it later. Parked. Can you see that? No. Alright. Let's remove that for now. Are these real life planes shown in the game? In sim, you mean? Hey Tom, glad you made it. These are planes based on real schedules, but they're not the accurate, they're not the 100% status of the plane, of the flight that's happening right now in real life. So I think someone encoded all the flight schedules, put them here, so that depending on the time of day where you are in the sim, it will load those airports. Look at that. Yeah. So because we don't have taxi routes, the planes just pop up in front like there. And there are actually two of them. And look at that. Yeah, it's a bit buggy because the taxi routes are, the ground routes are not set up. So they just appear on the runway like so. And then there's one here which is about to land. I'm not sure what they're planning there. Look at how close those guys are together. So it's a bit finicky if you don't have the ground routes properly set up, but I think all in all, it makes the entire place very lively. The bus mod is separate from the bus itself. Well, look at that guy. That guy actually did a go around because there was someone on the runway. Wow, that's actually pretty realistic, huh? That's nice. So they don't just land blindly. They kind of have a feel of what's on the ground. Jetstar A320, yes indeed. Yeah, Bali International Airport. I think it's 3K242, the flight number, something like that. Jetstar Asia, flight 242 if I remember correctly. The bus you're driving is a Merc. Oh, nice. Can you use the Actros tuning pack there? I doubt it, huh? But still, nonetheless, beautiful. Yeah, I could just do plane spotting the entire day. And I saw this exact plane, I think. Yeah, we should have been on the gate here at this time, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I saw that exact plane, that 737, the Lion Airlines 737-800. I also saw a Delta. I'm not sure if it was a cargo plane though, parked here on the gate. Not sure where it could be. But yeah, this is so cool. Plane spotting. Went to a truck stop in ATS between Vancouver and Portland in ATS, then you Google mapped the truck stop. Oh, that's nice. So they really put in the accuracy there. Cool. Right, anyway, let's go and set up. Connect the GPU. Let me show you the flight plan. Actually, maybe it's best if I show you via Pilot to ATC so we have a visual. Let me drag that over here. There's our Jay the robot. Beep beep boop boop. How are you, man? Thanks for joining. So where are we? Whoa, look at all those planes. Yeah, that's thanks to world traffic. All the planes flying around. Let me see how the flight plan looks like. Galco 3 Alpha, Galco. Okay, so and we'll be flying at flight level 340. It's a step climb, 340, and then climbing to 360 somewhere along the way. I'm not 100% sure how to encode that into the FMC, but we'll plug in 340 for now, and we'll figure out how to go to 360 later. One sec, huh? So I'll put in 340 and the cruising altitude here. Ground speed then would be 455 knots. Okay, we'll do that. No worries, Jay. And thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the tips as well. I can hopefully tell some stories of the trip as we cruise when we get to the less intensive parts of the flight. For now though, let me focus a bit here and try to get my bearings. 455. So let me show you. The planned departure is not initially this one. So if I zoom in here, the airport, the reason why I wanted this flight in particular, aside from me flying this yesterday in real life, was because we came across this beautiful view of the volcano. You might remember the volcano from yesterday or from last stream. We saw it from a distance, but this flight actually we flew over it and it was perfect. So if I show you, if I look at the different departures here, the volcano, this is the airport. You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? Okay. And the volcano is right, I think it's this one, Mount Agung. I think if it's that's the one. Jay will correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a specific departure which flies us over there and gives us a perfect view on the left side. And that is actually Galc 3 Alpha. If you pick that one, so you see we fly over that exact route, and by the time we get here around these points, we should see a perfect angle of the volcano right there. Yeah, Calco, there we go. So let's set that up. Currently playing ATS. You're on the route from LA, California to Birmingham, Alabama. Ooh, nice. How long is that route? How long is that journey? And star will be Surga 1 Bravo. Towards runway 20 right. And these are the exact runways that we landed yesterday as well. I'm not sure if the arrival we took was the Surga 1 Bravo, but it should be close enough. And you can actually hear the engine sounds of those world traffic planes as they buzz along near us. Super cool. Let's take runway 20 right, ILS approach. Let's take the IPNAC transition so we give as much of a space as we can get. I think that is going to amount to like a, 11-mile final, which is very huge. We don't need it that far, but fine. Safer, the better. No chain right there. Yeah, I think we got lucky. I'm not sure if maybe the pilots requested for it specifically, but if you plug this flight from Bali to Singapore, for example, in SimBrief, this will not be the ideal SID. There is a SID that gives you a shorter route. So I guess this is not normally what they take. This is the scenic route, you could say, because it cuts across. It doesn't cut across the volcano. I was actually surprised that we went that close to it. And if you guys want to see how it looks in real life, go and check out my Instagram stories. It should still be there. The takeoff, the landing, and the beautiful view of the volcano in real life. It's Jetstar Asia. Alright. Let us plug in the fuel and everything. Charts. Should be that one. 160 passengers, 2 tons of cargo. So payload should be 18.7 tons. We need a fuel of 9.9 tons, which amounts to a takeoff weight of 69.7. For some reason, it's a bit inaccurate here by around 0.2 to 0.3 tons, but shouldn't be that far off. We are within the range. 72.6 is the max takeoff weight in this case, so I'll just leave it as is. Alright, let's leave it there. Good. Let me open my checklist as well, so I'm sure I'm not missing any crucial stuff which we might regret later. Okay, let's leave it like that. And let me catch up with chat if there's anything. Okay, Jay already answered, Tom, thanks. Yeah, just below Singapore. I'll show you guys. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me give you a good visual on it. Let me zoom in here. Okay, so let's have a look at the world here. And I know not a lot of people are familiar with Asia in particular. So we start off in... Wow, this is the Earth. I didn't know it could go that zoomed out. North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia is right over here. So let's zoom in there bit by bit. And that's the Philippines. That's the Philippines right there. We are right here in the southwest of it. So this is Indonesia. I think it should be around... It's huge. Indonesia is huge. And it has even more islands than the Philippines has. I think it has, 17,000 islands or something. And for sure Jay will fact check me on that one, but ballpark figure. And we are right here in Bali. Okay. So we will be flying northwest onto Singapore. And if I zoom in back here, Gunung Agung, that's the volcano that I want to see. Actually, I'm not sure if it's that one or it's Amyapura. Good question. Anyway, as long as we see something later. It does seem like it's Gunung Agung. Okay, and where we stayed was in Jimbaran. That's south of where the airport is. So I think we stayed around here. The photos I posted in Instagram were right here in the south near Uluwatu. Beautiful views, beautiful site for a wedding. So the main purpose of our flight here was to attend a friend's wedding. Anyway, there we go. Alright, set that up. Open the charts. Whiskey Alpha Delta Delta for the Bali airport. Airport info. Going to be a pretty simple taxiing. Galco 3 Alpha. One sec, guys. Give me some time. I'll get back to you on chat. Galco 3 Alpha, indeed. Alright. Galco 3 Alpha is supposedly Do you see it? Did I pick the right one? Departure. Calco 3 Alpha. There we go. Apparently I chose the wrong chart. There we go. Alright. So that takes us... That's the volcano, I'm guessing. Right past that. The normal route would take us, I think, over here. If you take a different departure. Buaya and then Calco. Okay. It does have some pretty strict vertical restrictions, you can see. Not above, not below, but exactly within that altitude. 6,000, 9,000, flight level 130, 180, 210, and 245. All of those are exact altitude restrictions. Very interesting departure. All right, get back to chat finally. What solar system is it in? That's a good question. Maybe Jack will know. PewDiePie went for his honeymoon too, like a week or two ago. Maybe I saw him on the road. I had no clue. Looks like there's somebody taking off again. There's that guy. I'm really hoping we see the Jetstar Asia flight take off. But anyway, we can imagine it. Right. Let me start the plane and all the stuff that entails with it. Make sure I don't miss anything. Let's simulate that someone is doing the walk around. Any volunteers? Go around the plane. Steady lights on. Emergency exit lights, fasten seatbelt signs, and attend. Did I just get something? 20 months! Meow! Oh goodness, speaking of meows, there's an interesting cat sound, or some interesting cat sounds we heard during our time there. You can probably imagine what it is, but I'll share more details later. Remind me if I forget, which I most likely will. Let's go ahead and open the doors here, because how could we have gotten in? Now the jetway isn't working in this airport because this is just the default, so we'll have to work with the air stairs, which is super cool. That's part of the plane now. Not too shabby. Let's just assume that the passengers will be taken by bus and everything. Made that perfect cat sound. I still have very fresh memory of how the cat sounds like, so I guess it was easier to simulate it. Earthquakes are a regular thing. Very close to fault lines, I see. Oh, nice. I have not yet, Jack, but I should. Bali tiger. Thankfully, did not see any tigers. I did see a lot of other creatures, though. Let's set this up. So Bali, at least the part where we stayed, has that very rural feel, very scenic, very relaxed, and so that comes with everything, including the creatures, and it proved quite interesting. Let's go and listen to the ATIS.
Whiskey, Romeo, 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 airport information, India, 000.
That's the wrong airport. Interesting. Let me just plug in the thing from ASXP, from Active Sky. Altimeter 1016. Scattered at 2,300 feet, 27 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that should be fine. Pretty good weather. Some low clouds, but not too low. 1016. Perfect. They have stunning videos on the site. How do you sign up? Do I have to sign up before September 12th or? One sec. The checklist is getting covered. There we go. Let's use that one. Send blood to Microsoft. I'll make sure to remember. I should have some in reserve. Nav data out of date. Oh, this is the perfect day to do that. Take off config. The horn works. They probably changed today the nav data. We should only have 1 day old nav data, so it shouldn't be that bad. Thanks, Jack. Hopefully I'm not too late.
Flight slow. Hold up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
If you took a plane as high as you could fly in X-Plane 11, does it let you fly into outer space? I haven't tried yet, but I doubt it. Probably fall somewhere beforehand. Whiskey Alpha Delta Delta. Take the GPS left coordinates. Pretty close. Yeah, we are in the airport. We are in the right airport, that's good. And we are going to Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra, which is in Singapore. Flight Clumsy 168 as usual. Departing via runway 09. Galco 3 Alpha departure. And from there, let me feed in the stuff from here. Chart, I need a chart. There you go. Get back to you guys in a bit. There we go. Galco, direct, Rampy. Joining the Mike 635 airway all the way to Surga, and from there joining the Surga 1 Bravo arrival to ILS runway 20 right, transition IPNAC, Surga 1 Bravo. Perfect. Double check that there are no discontinuities. Good. Activate that. Let's have a look at how that is in the plan here. And I'll be right with you. Hold on. Hold on. Just make sure that we're not making a mess of this. Bawal, bilut, betet with all the altitude constraints. Betok, bison, buaya, Galco, direct to Rampy. Okay, and all these waypoints. And then we join the arrival. Perfect. That looks good. Missed approach also coded in. Perfect. Alright, I'm happy with that. And now I will get back to chat. When we landed in Bali, well, it went much better than I did it when I did it. So the pilot was actually pretty good, I think. Yeah, not the smoothest, but not firm either. So I was pretty happy with it. Mr. Amsterdam himself. How are you, Scotsman? What have you been up to? Windows does own all our skins, that's very true. Or was it Disney? I'm confused now. Maybe both. Half and half. What the heck is happening there? That's scary. Okay, maybe that's normal. Zero fuel weight. Plug that in. Reserves would be... Was it the... It should be the sum of alternate and finrest, which should be 2.7, 2.8 tons. Cost index would be 1.4. Pretty economical flight. Flight level 340. And then later, let's step climb to 360. as we approach Sumdi. And I think we should be able to code that in. I'm just not exactly sure how that works. Let's see. If I go to legs, Sumdi, there we go. Flight level 340. If I go 360 here, 360, plug that in like so. No, that doesn't look good. I'll worry about that later. Okay. Alright. Top of climb would be... Top of climb, that's 340, would be 120 at 25 knots wind. I say deviation would be positive 12. Alright. So you can see the flight level here says 340, and by the time we get to Sumdi, after Sumdi, we climb to 360. Okay, so when we get to Sumdi, we request to increase in altitude, something along those lines, I'm guessing. Okay. One sec, huh? Alright, let's go and plug in the average winds. 091 at 29 knots. There we go. And let's also put the fix in for runway 20 right, so we get an idea how far we are from the different points, how far we are from the runway. 360 times 372, 108 miles out, should be around where we start our descent. And then I'll plug in 10 and 5 miles as well, so we have an idea of when we should be configuring for landing, more or less. Okay, looking good. Let me set up the doors and I'll be back and chat with you guys. Open the service and cargo doors. Start service cruise. Actually, I don't think we need the music anymore. We have so much ambient sounds happening in the background. I don't think we need any more music. Yes, I know about Amsterdam. Amsterdam and Scotsman in particular. Thanks a lot, Jack. Bus terminal mod. Ah, that works. Maybe I should go with that instead of Fernbus. I might be able to try that out. That's a good idea. Enjoy, Jack. What are you having? Tell us about it later. Yo, dampers on. All fuel pumps enabled. We have 2,000 kilos in the center fuel tank. Check crossfeed is working. Looks good on this side. Window heats on. Trim air on. Packs auto. Flight level 360. I'm going to plug 360 here because that's going to be the final flight level. And the landing altitude, Singapore is like what, 17 feet, 17 feet above sea level, so that should be good enough. Wheel well lights can go off. Flight directors on. Courses to SID VOR. Let's have a look here. 86 degrees on the courses. Let's also set up the VOR 116.2 just in case we would need to go back. 116.2 on both is set up already. VOR, we are tracking the Bali VOR, Bravo Lima, India. Okay, perfect. Runway heading would be 087. I'm not sure why it's different, but if we look here in the departure, it says 86 degrees. If you go and look at the airport, it says the runway has an 87 degrees in there. So I'm not sure which one to follow. I guess not going to matter that much. And the initial climb would be, I'm assuming, 6,000, the first vertical restriction there. So I'm going to set up 6,100. to start it off. There we go. Cool. That is all set. Set auto brakes to rejected takeoff. Fuel flow reset. Now with the latest version of the Zibo, there's a new button here which I'm not sure what it is. C/R. I'm guessing climb rate? I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem to work. Nothing happens if I click it, so I have no clue. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Oil pressure looks good. Stop the service cruise now and let's get the people in. Start the flight leg. And while people are getting boarded, let's go and check the different things. The route is already checked. Landing fuel is 3.6 tons by the time we arrive in Singapore. Actually, curious about this. Perf limits now. I'm wondering if you can set up a step climb in the FMC, or if that has to be manually done. Because right now the FMC is only familiar that we are climbing to flight level 340 and that's it. Anyway, alright. Let me get back to the chart. Chart says landing fuel will be, if you go to Singapore, 3.4 available fuel on board. Compare that with 3.6, that's pretty close. Ground distance is 1,024 nautical miles. Should be around the same. 1,017 on the flight plan. Looks good. VORs have been tuned for backup. So now we should be able to take the air stairs up. No more air stairs. And we close the door. Close the doors. And have a look at who's taking off. Whew, that's scary. Look at that. All those planes coinciding with each other. Goodness. No! Look at that guy. Close your eyes, guys. Overtake. Okay, sometimes it screws up. Runway incursions for the win. I hope that doesn't happen to us. Blame the non-existent taxi routes. Yeah, look at this guy. Air Asia. There was an Air Asia flight going to Singapore as well. That might have been the one. Maybe the next guy would be the Jetstar already. I'll have to take a look. Lock them in. Yeah, they have no choice now. They have no choice. Let's welcome them. Welcome them to their doom.
Good morning, folks. From the flight deck, get your captain for the ride. It looks like it should be pretty good. So we're planning on a smooth ride. Get there as soon as we can, and as safe as we can. We'll talk to you once we get airborne. Welcome over.
Didn't know I had such a smooth English vocabulary when I do the announcement. Whiskey Alpha Delta Delta. Runway 09. Show that in feet. Cross weight would be 70,000 kilos. Get the weather. Compute. Flaps 5. Thrust D rate to 22K. Selected temperature would be 55. Let me plug that in a separate window so you guys can go and check it out with each other. Outside air temperature would be 26. D rate to 22K. Selected temp would be 55 degrees. That should derate the engine further. Takeoff flaps would be 5 degrees. Center of gravity. And V1, VR, and V2 would all be 151. Alright. Takeoff roll will be 9,613 feet. The runway is how long? 9,843 feet. That's pretty close actually, huh? We're really cutting it close there. Well, I guess that's fine. Set the speed bug to the V2 speeds. Let me see, did I miss anything? No, that's good. And trim value should be 5.2. Welcome back, Jack. What did you have? 5.2, so let's bring that up a bit. Should be good. Now we can close the flight deck door and get things started. Start the APU. And while that's booting up, so to speak, let's double check that better pushback is set up. That's the one I want.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Let's get him here. Let's get the tug here.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Perfect, thank you. While those things are running, let's go ahead and request for IFR clearance. Now the frequency should be ground. There is no clearance delivery here. 118.8. Ground, good morning. Ready to copy IFR clearance. Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168 is cleared to Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra. Climb via the Gulf 3 at departure with the Galco transition. Then as filed. Expect departure runway 09.
Okay.
Climb to flight level 320 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 20 minutes after departure. Squawk 4213.
Clumsy
Just let the
168
co-pilot
is
handle
cleared
that.
to Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra. Climb via the
4213.
GALK-3A departure with the GALCO transition, then as filed climb to flight level 320 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 20 minutes
Another Air
after
Asia
departure.
flight.
Squawk 4213.
Clumsy 168 read back correct. QNH is 1016. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH is 1016. Clumsy 168.
Right, have a good night, Even. Hope I still managed to catch you. That's what pilots keep talking in the cockpit.
So connected,
Goodness.
bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
There's a weird thing about the clearance here. I tried this flight out yesterday when we arrived, just to see everything is going smoothly. There's something weird happening, but we'll see if it happens again. Like they get confused about what clearance they give me. It's not the flight I'm looking for. Alright, anyway. Okie dokes, looking good. APU is ready. Let's get those generators on. APU bead should be ready to go as well. Air conditioning is starting. Let's get rid of the GPU. Alright, looking good. We have transponder set and everything. Alright, let's go and request pushback and engine start. Ground Clumsy 168 request pushback and engine start. Oh, I think I used the wrong phrase. Clumsy 168 ready for pushback and engine start.
Clumsy 168 pushback and engine start approved.
Get my track IR in place. Pushback and engine start approved. Clumsy 168. Alright, anti-collision lights are on. Release the parking brakes.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Thank you. Chicken and cheese with sticky Korean style barbecue sauce sandwich. Yums! Goodness, have to find where to eat later. There's no more food here in the house. Right. Thank you. Packs off. Start engine 2. Still not the Jetstar flight I'm looking for, but fine. I love that purr. That purr of the engine. And what's best about this World Traffic 3 plugin is it's not very hard on the frames at all. Remember when I had AI planes by X-Plane default? They were flying all over the place and they were huge hogs on performance. These guys, they fly actual flight plans. So they fly the actual SIDS and stars of the airport. And so you can have a feel of you guys are going to the same place. Like sometimes you're flying in a line, following the same SIDS, flying the same flight plans. And 2 climbing. Oil pressure, I'm waiting for the oil pressure to come up. There you go. Looking great. Let's feed them some fuel in. It only works with the base map and SCS DLCs. Ah, I see. So no pro mods with the bus map. Yeah, I guess that's a tricky thing because it would need to adjust a lot of the factors. Okay. You have 2 good engines. Let's go and get rid of the lower display unit. Start the engine generators. Turn off the APU. Set the engine start to continuous. Probe heats on. Backs back to on. Isolation valve auto. APU bleed off. Takeoff flaps 5. Looking good. Let's wait for this guy to finish.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Will do.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Anyone landing? There's so many planes landing a while ago. Now there's nothing. I think they got scared of me. Interesting. Flight controls forward, back, left, right. Screw that. And we'll check the rudder later once the nose wheel has been connected. Thanks for following and welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing okay, having a chill time, and feel free to say hi in chat so we can all give you a proper welcome.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Thank you. Disconnecting tow, that's okay, I have 9 more. I didn't say that, Jack did. But Alright. Rudder left, right, looking great. Recall, no warnings. Show me the pin. There's the bypass pin. Alright, so we should have full control on our nose wheel again. Good. But Clumsy doesn't have legs. Oh, that's true. Now that's a problem. Ground Clumsy 168, ready to taxi.
Clumsy 168 taxi to runway 09 via taxiways November 6, November 7.
Taxi to runway 09 via taxiways November 6, November 7, Clumsy 168. That's actually a wrong taxiing route because as I mentioned, the ground taxi routes aren't existing for this airport. So if you look at it, it's actually telling us taxi to runway 09 via November 6, which is this one, in November 7. When it should be, if I'm looking at this, should be Papa 7, November 7. But anyway, it should be simple enough to go that. Runway turn off, taxi lights, parking brake is released. Check the brakes, it's working. chimes and attend. Let's inform the cabin crew that we are on our way to move. Apply a little bit of thrust there, just a little. LNAV armed, auto throttle armed. Cabin lighting, set that for takeoff and landing. Looking good. November 7 is just up ahead. Let's turn on the weather radar. On the co-pilot side, let's go and enable terrain. And we'll do a lot of pausing once we get airborne, because that will be time for the photo taking ops. Let's just cruise along here. They should be handing us over to tower soon enough. Is it this one? Oh, I think that's the other one still. Oh, this is just November 6. We have a long way to go. And yeah, we were actually staying here yesterday. There were like 4 or 5 planes ahead of us, so it was quite a long queue for the for the takeoff. But I didn't mind it at all because it was plane spotting all the way, and I've been doing this recording and stuff. Still not the Jetstar flight. Maybe it passed us already. I love that sound. Yeah, I love the sound that doesn't feel like we're alone here in the airport. All the sounds and everything. Thanks for the host, Blazing Daddy. Now, I'm not sure, Che, if you know this, but in the view, so here's the airport. Over on that side, there was a huge tall structure.
168 contact tower on 118.1. Have a good afternoon.
That was appearing out of nowhere. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think we went there, but it looks massive. I'm guessing that's a very famous landmark. What did the lady tell us? I think she told us to switch to tower. Tower on 118.1, Clumsy 168. Also, let me try not to cheat and look at the thing that Pilot to ATC is giving out. So if I don't hear anything, I can ask them to say again. Air Asia again, lots of Air Asia flights here. Let's switch to 118.1.
Ground, good morning, Center 7-4 heavy. Approaching Sierra 7K.
Tower Clumsy 168 ready for departure, runway 09.
Clumsy 168 line up and wait.
Wow,
Runway
that's
09.
Line up and wait, runway 09, Clumsy 168. That semi has a lot of knobs and switches. Very true. Hey Sparksaw, thanks for joining. How are you, man? It's GWKC. What is that? Set the transponder to TARA. Let's go. And do I have my parking brake set? No, I don't. Alright. Strobes that on. Taxi lights off. Landing lights on. Let's go and line up and wait here. Looks like lots of folks lining up. Where did that guy come from? Where did those guys come from? Goodness. Scary. So let me try and line up here properly. Garuda Vishnu Kinkana Cultural Park. Oh, nice. Interesting. Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty huge. You can actually see it from here in real life. Alright, let's turn like so. That should line us up perfectly with the runway. If I did it correctly at least. There we go. That looks good. I'll take that. Alright. Beautiful.
Clumsy 168 winds are 109er at 12 knots cleared for takeoff.
Love
Runway
it.
09 caution wake turbulence.
Whoa, with turbulence. That's the first time I heard that. Clear for takeoff, runway 09, Clumsy 168. Probably because of the plane that just passed us. Right, let's set the timer. Thrust to 40%. Let that build up while we hold our brakes. Once it's 40, we let go and we push toga. Whoa! Where'd that guy come from? Passing through. Okay, maybe not. Everybody's here. Goodness.
Maybe not.
This airport is a mess. I'll have to fix that. Overtaking. Clumsy flying. Applying a bit of aileron deflection. The rudder on the left.
V1.
Rotate. Just ever so mildly. There we go.
Positive rating.
8 gear up. Let me trim towards the flight director. Look at all the planes on our
400.
okay, 400. Let me enable autopilot here because I will need all the attention. I need to focus. Scania Airlines and Clumsy flying. Wait a minute. Let's have a look at that photo. Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it? Let's go and take a photo of that beautiful airport. And make sure. Actually, the Philippine Airlines doesn't hold much weight and where we're going, huh? No Philippines at all here. But we can, let's chalk that up to a bit of creative freedom. There's the volcano right there. Let's have that view. If I can reach it at least. There we go. Alright. Scania Airlines and Clumsy flying. Huge place. There's events happening there. Ah, I see, I see. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Autopilot's going wild on the trimming, making me a bit scared. Flaps 1, just following the schedule. Looking good. Yeah, look at all those planes in front of us. And they are very close to each other. It's a bit buggy. It's nice, but it's a bit buggy. Flaps up. And let's go and enable VNAV. Looking good. Flaps are up. Alright.
Clumsy 168, contact Bali radar director on 119.7. Good day.
This is the radar director guy. Radar director on 119.7, Clumsy 168. 1197. Switch that. Clumsy 168 climbing flight level 320.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact.
After takeoff checks, landing gear off. Auto brakes off. Terrain radar, let's keep that on because that's interesting. Now I'm hoping it's not that cloudy because I do want to see that view. Yeah, yesterday this was perfect. I was seeing the volcano from this angle. And yeah, I downloaded some orthophoto scenery so we get a better view of this. I'm not sure if the clouds will be very friendly. Yeah, fine. Let's turn off the terrain radar. But it's nice to see all those planes ahead of us following the same departure. I'm just not sure if we should be that close to each other. It doesn't seem like natural. It seems very scary. So we are approaching the first vertical restriction, 6,000. You can hear the engine throttling down. There's the plane in front of us. Yeah, there they are. Looks like we are actually catching up to them. Yeah, normally air traffic control would tell us to slow down. Right? Yeah, look at that. So what I can do is I can adjust my speed to slow down.
Clumsy 168, you have traffic at 12 o'clock 1 miles at 6,100 feet.
Traffic inside Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168, contact Charlie Center on 120.7.
Oi, what's the thing doing? Let's just say hi to him. Formation flying. Hi. It's a race we can win. Yeah. Why did the plane start to fall when I hit the speed? Seems weird. Did I do something wrong there? Interesting. Let's take a photo of that. He must be pretty scared. But goodness. Yeah, I really wish there would be a perfect integration of pilot to ATC and world traffic. Because that would really make things much better. Used to go there quite often to meet some friends. They're part of those things happening there. Ah, I see. Supplier of things.
Clumsy 168, contact Center on 120.7.
Center on 120.7, Clumsy 168. Seto plano. Looks like a Dash 8. Where's the guy? Are you there yet? I think we're catching up to someone again. There's one more we're overtaking right here. This is the same thing that happened yesterday. I kept overtaking the planes. They were super slow. And air traffic control was not telling me to slow down or anything. But yeah, it's a bit weird. When I try to go and hit the speed here.
Clumsy 168, contact Center on 120.7.
Oh yeah, I forgot to switch. Center on 120.7, Clumsy 168. Center, Clumsy 168, climbing flight level 320.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Now, at a very nice site. We have to get rid of active sky for a bit so that we have nice views. Let's see, after we turn left, if the volcano is still not in sight, we'll probably turn off active sky for a bit just so we have clear weather. It was perfect yesterday. It was a bit cloudy, but just enough to add a bit of texture on the sky, but not this fluffy. So we could still see the volcano in its entirety. Looks like there's a gap here though that's forming. That might give us a good window to see where we want to go. And also there's a bit of weirdness with the air traffic control. So you see this bend? See this curve here? Pilot to ATC doesn't like that. And look at that, it's asking us to descend to 9,000 feet. Because we have not really reached Belut yet. But from... so how it works is pilot to ATC is only allowing us to go up above 9,000 after we reach Belut.
Turn left heading 012 to return to course.
But since the Zibo, this plane, is smart enough to curve, it already switches to the next waypoint. So from there, that means we could already go to the next altitude restriction. And you hear that they told us that we were off course because we took that bend, but once we go straight here again, then pilot to ATC will be aligned, so I just ignore that nowadays. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's not as visible today, but maybe hopefully later once we get up top more. Switching to standard altimeter on both the PFT and the standby. We have a plane in front of us again. Where is it?
Clumsy
Yeah, closing in on it.
Resume navigation.
Yeah. Resume navigation, Clumsy 168. So just ignore those off-course warnings. And just start switches auto. Cabin pressure is climbing. Yes, looking good. Where is that guy?
Clumsy 168, you have traffic at 1 o'clock 1 miles at flight level
Oh, there it is.
130.
You think? Traffic inside Clumsy 168. Overtake. Bye. Where's the volcano? There it is. Yeah. Still not as visible. Thicker clouds today than yesterday. Looking good. Looking good. Fasten seatbelt signs can go to auto. Recall, no warnings. Heading bug, let's align that towards our current heading. Let's change the cabin lights to cruise in white medium as well. Is there traffic perchance? One of the best government airlines. Oh, it is a government airlines. That's nice. Lots better compared to most government airlines. I haven't flown there yet. Garuda, Indonesia. I think I saw that though. There it is. And that's accentuated by the orthophoto scenery. I wish the clouds were a bit thinner, but this works as well. I love that look. With the mountain, the land is higher than the clouds. It looks so good, doesn't it? We do have a bit of snow of clouds on the ortho photos, some imperfections, but yeah, it looks really good. So when we probably get on that side a few miles from now, we'll take some photos. Now it seems like we are starting our climb again. You've never seen clouds around there. Well, yesterday when we were flying here, there were lots of clouds. I would love to share the Instagram stories. Maybe I'll share just the photo of it. I should have it with me. I'll share it in Discord for those who don't have Instagram. Yeah, that looks absolutely stunning like that. Let's take a photo now here. Oh crap. Bye. Pause and then see. There we go. There we go. Oh, that looks absolutely stunning. We have our thumbnail right here. Probably it's the rainy season. Yeah, you're probably right. That might be it. It's amazing though, having that view from here. The pilots really gave us a treat. Alright. Everything is looking good. No warnings. Alright. We do have traffic ahead of us, and closing in, we'll probably get a traffic warning again later on. Now, the other thing that's not here anymore with world traffic, we don't see the contrails anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess it's also partly the reason why we get such good performance now compared to when we have AI traffic. You guys see anything? Should be around 10 miles from us. Oh yeah, that looks absolutely stunning. Alright, I think I can start telling stories after I take this photo. How about that as thumbnail? Love it. Absolutely amazing. And one more. Good. Yeah, the pic you have has a lot of clouds. Alright, these were aligned there. So, yeah, I spent like 5 days in Bali to attend the wedding and spend some time with friends. Bit of a reunion happening. We have traffic warning again. I'm just going to ignore that, okay? I'm just going to blame it on ATC. Oh, there you go. There's the guy. No contrails whatsoever. Magnificent view. And we didn't really have full control of our itinerary. It was a bit controlled by the friends and the couple. But we did have a bit of freedom after a while. So the first day when we arrived, there was no plan whatsoever. We just went ahead and got a massage. We don't normally get massages anymore here in Singapore because it's super expensive. Although we went to a very touristy establishment there in Bali, so we ended up paying almost the same anyway. But it was very good. It's one of the best massages I've ever had, if I remember correctly. It felt so relaxing, and I was just I think I slept like half of the time, which was a bit of a shame, but I mean, I guess that proves how relaxing it was. So I'll take it. Yeah, perfect, Jay. Perfect timing. But yeah, we got it at, I'm not sure what place that is. It was not that far from our place, so I'm guessing it's still somewhere in Jimbaran. But yeah, it was one of the best massages that we've had, and the people were very nice. It was a bit pricey, but it was well worth it. And then we had dinner somewhere nearby. I forgot the name, but apparently in Indonesia they have like one of their specialties is ribs, pork ribs, and it was very nice. It was very good, and it was very spicy. They had like a special sauce. Apparently they use spices or chili for everything, almost everything. And so my friend actually said, I'm not sure if this is true, but when the price of chili goes up, like how did she phrase it? That the actual like inflation increases as well. So like there's a huge effect on the statistics whenever the chili prices go up, because that's how much it's being used there. Mabuhay! Hey Mikes, thanks for joining. How are you? There is some traditional massage where they come to your place. I'm not a fan of the coming to the place massages. I mean, it might be a personal preference, but I feel paranoid that other people are going to my place and having access to all my stuff, so I don't like it. It's just a peace of mind thing. I'd much rather go to the place and just go back to our own, even though it entails a bit of travel. Yes, very much a Filipino, sir. Living in Singapore, but 100% Filipino accent, right? Thanks for the follow, Mikes. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Are you a one as well? Thanks for the follow. after Bison, should be able to continue our climb. But yeah, this Sid, even though super scenic, has so many altitude restrictions. It's a bit like, aren't we at cruising level yet? Nice. Glad to hear it. Glad to see fellow Filipino streamers. And I see you're verified at that. Amazing stuff. Proud patriot living in the UK but returning to PH soon. Oh, cool. Happy for you, man. I plan to return as well after a few years. No clear plan yet, but yeah, that's the goal. Bison, where? Jack getting his rifle ready. So we had a massage, we had some nice dinner, we went back, and we stayed at this nice compound, this villa, which had multiple, like, not sure how we call it, maybe that's the villa, but it had like multiple houses, and then in the middle was a was a pool, which was a shared pool for all the villas, surrounding villas, and then there's like a common dirty kitchen. So it was like the perfect spot for hanging out with our friends, because we had like individual villas, so we get a bit of privacy with sleeping and using we had each a toilet and bath, but then we could go out and just spend time, hang around, and get some quality time with our friends. It was perfect. The place was good. It was not so clean though. The caretaker, I think, was not the most OC person out there. so there were really a lot of times where it was super dirty and we had to clean ourselves, and it's a bit of a DIY place, but yeah, all in all it was very nice, very perfect for just hanging out and spending some time with friends. It's a villa. You love flight sims as too. Awesome. Walang anuman. Maraming salamat din. Have a good night, man. Thanks, and happy for you. Most of these places are never clean because of the way the island is and due to the earthquake thingy. What I mean the way the island is, like the way the people are, because I mean with a little bit of effort, a little bit of sweeping, a little bit of wiping, it could be very clean. Like, an earthquake shouldn't make it that dirty. And I don't know, we saw firsthand how the caretaker took care of the place, and it was not the best love, so to speak. So I think there is a huge room for improvement there. So we really had to take extra care of all the things we were using, the plates, the utensils. We did not trust at all that we could just use anything out of the bat. And if we leave something outside, we had to like really wash it afterwards. But minor things, nothing really game breaking, although the first night was a bit of a culture shock with how dirty the place was. Given that the caretaker should have just finished cleaning, so it was the first day. That should have been at its cleanest form before we stayed. But yeah, so cleanliness wise leaves a lot of room for improvement, I could say. Thanks, Mikes. No, I don't agree, Jay. I think we could do a lot better there with a lot more focus. I mean, it's so easy to wipe a wardrobe. I mean, dirt would not make that dirty. If you clean it at least even once a week, once every few days, it would not be that dirty. I'm not sure if you stayed in the same place, but in the place we stayed, it was not that. In the villa right next to us, it was very clean because the caretaker took care of things. So I can prove that, yeah, it could be better. Because we had multiple villas booked right side by side, and ours was the least well maintained. So yeah, it's not the place, it's the person, I would say. Yeah, cheaper rentals. You get what you pay for. That's true. Let's have a look at where we are. I think we'll have to speed up in a bit, but yeah, we can chill for a bit for a while. After Galco, we should not have any. Actually, right now we don't have any vertical restrictions anymore. Maybe the family got a cleaner villa. Yeah, they got the more expensive, and yeah, makes sense that it's cleaner. So yes, but the place itself is nice. I mean, if there was a bit more, how do you say? Yeah, TLC from the caretaker, I think it would have gone better. Because we were staying with the caretaker as well the entire time, and he was not the most attentive. Like he could have like cleaned or helped us multiple times, but he was just like standing there and just staying out. At one point, we even cooked for him an omelette. So we were having breakfast, we were cooking our own breakfast, and we saved him some things, an omelette, and we gave it to him. So we were being nice. And what he did was he ate the omelette when we were out, but he didn't wash the dishes. He didn't wash that particular plate where he ate in. So he just left it in the table. And so when we got back, the omelette was gone. There were bits and pieces left, but it was filled with ants, and all the creatures kind of crawled up to it already. And we were the ones who had to wash the plate. And I mean, it was fine if we wash our own plates, but if we give him something, we expect him to clean that on his own. Right? I mean, that's the very least I would expect. So yeah, that's the level of the caretaking. And every day he would make his own coffee, and he would leave the mug in the sink, and it would stay there until the next day. So we were the ones cleaning it for him. So we were joking around that we were serving him instead of the other way around. He got some new recruits out of us. Goodness. But aside from that, the caretaker itself was the place itself was very nice. Climb and maintain flight level 340, Clumsy 168. Let's continue our climb. Alright. So the second day, we were basically following the itinerary of the couple, and the bride is a very Instagrammy person. Like, she knows the best places to take photos, knows how to pose. Like, she has a talent for it, a knack for it, and so it really fits that the itinerary was centered upon very Instagrammable photos. And so that most of the places we went to, or we should have gone to, were centered on those amazing photo opportunities, which was kind of nice. But we were a bit not expecting the level of effort it would need. Exactly, Jay. Gateway to Heaven. That's the one. So, for those who are not familiar with the place, so actually let me show it in the map. That might be better, huh? So we were staying right here in Jimbaran, somewhere here in the south, so near the southern end of the island. And the Gates of Heaven, if I'm not mistaken, is somewhere along here, maybe? I don't recall the actual place. Or no, maybe farther, somewhere here near the Twin Lakes, I think. Somewhere here. So I'm not sure how far that is. Maybe 100 kilometers or something, but it took us 3 hours. More than 3 hours to travel there. Because the roads are not they don't have highways here. It's everything everything is like a mountain trail. Okay, anyway, they get the picture. Alright, so it took us 3 hours to get there, and when we arrived, they were like, okay, let's go into the place, let's explore a bit, let's walk, and then let's take some photos, let's enjoy the chill time. Apparently, this gateway to heaven is literally just a gate. Fuel on the center tanks are out. Let's turn off the fuel pumps. So when we got there, after 3 hours of sitting in the van, we saw this like entrance. It's like, ooh, cool entrance. And we're like excited to go through and explore the place. But apparently this entrance was the gate itself. And so that was the entire attraction, that gate there. And then you had to, much more, you had to pay to take a photo at the gate. So there was a ticket. It was pretty cheap. So no problem with the price, but it was just so surprising to us. Traveling for 3 hours just for a single photo, and we couldn't even go around. There was nowhere to explore. So it was just that exact gate. You could see the gate from the car. You could just have like passed through and took a photo. And so, yeah, 2 pillars exactly. Maybe I can share a photo later on Discord. I'll try to find a good one of me and Mrs. Clumsy. Wait a minute, let me just take a look at where the stop is, because we should have a step climb. Step climb after Sumdi. Climb to 360. Okay. Sumdi is... That's Rampi. The next one is Sumdi. Okay, so when we get to Sumdi, we'll request for an increase in altitude. We climb to 360. So it was very Instagrammable. Like, probably if you Google Gates of Heaven Bali, you'll see that right off the bat. Maybe someone can Google it. Those are the 2 pillars. You stay in the middle, you take a photo. And it's very scenic. It's very Instagrammable. But it took us 3 hours to get there. It took us 1 hour because there was a line. So it took us 4 hours to take a single shot and nowhere else to explore. So at that point, we were like, okay, this is nice, but I don't think this is the... I don't think we belong to the same crowd. So me and my friends, we decided after that point, okay, I think we will go to a different place now. I think we'll veer off from the original itinerary, because if the rest of the itinerary is like this as well, we might be spending the entire day just in the van. So at that point, that's when I messaged TJ, like, oh, do you have any ideas for itineraries and stuff like that? So at that point is when we said, okay, I don't think we have the same interests or same priorities of this travel. We would prioritize eating, drinking, and exploring, and the photos will be just a nice add-on. So we took our own itinerary. After that, we went to Ubud, which took us around 2 hours to get to Ubud. And we went around the place. We ate at this, I'm not sure what, can't remember the name, but I think it's a very touristy place. Nice views, okay food, and local food, so that's great. And then afterwards we went to this like famous street in Ubud Market. But it's the straight road which had all the tourists in the world. That's where all the tourists are. But it's fun. It was fun. So it was a nice getting back into civilization again. Because where we were staying, the place we were staying at, the villas we were at, they were very rural. They were very isolated. No establishments nearby, no convenience stores. It was really isolated. So when we got to Ubud in that touristy street, it was like, civilization. Lots of shops, coffee shops, ice cream shops, souvenir shops, all the stuff. Man, that looks so good. Actually, the clouds look much better in this flight than in the one I had yesterday. Has this kind of sunset. Let me open that. Yeah, that's the one. Gates of Heaven. Thanks. Let's go and how do we show that? I think I should show this. Below that properly this time. Yeah, Gates of Heaven. It looks very Instagrammable. So you stay in the middle and take a photo. But over here on this left side, you line up for like an hour to get a chance at taking a photo there. And then you also pay a ticket. We are flying the 737-800 by Zibo, otherwise known as the Zibo mod. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Toy Boy. This one, ooh, nice. Yeah. Beautiful. So we went to Ubud and stayed in the market and tried out some street food, martabak. Like that was the highlight of the day for us. The watching the vendor at the side of the road cook the martabak. I'm not sure how would you describe it, Jay? It's like a pancake. It's like an omelette. No, not really an omelette. It's like a prata. Jay probably would be able to describe it better, but it's like a pancake with stuff inside. It's like a stuffed pancake. Eating food is always the highlight. Always, yeah. Eating food and drinking. And then everything else is icing on the cake. Trying different foods. So martabak is savory, and then there's like a dessert, which is like a real pancake, just a different way of cooking it. Can't remember the word, but it's 2 words, starts with a T. But anyway, so that was the highlight, like videoing the guy and all of us like bunching around the guy. Ooh, that looks super cool and everything. And then we ate the stuff on the van on the way back. But we spent almost the entire day just stuck in the van and traveling to places on that day. Then the next day we followed the itinerary of our friends again, the couple, because we had limited time. So we already had some events planned in line with the wedding. So we went to, I can't remember the place, The Edge I think is the name. The Edge or 180, I think those are the same. But it's like this very luxurious over the coast resort. You could just hang out and swim. Some amazing views over the cliffside. You can swim over the cliffside, and then the latter end of the pool was like see-through, so you could actually see over the cliff while you're underneath. It's just very nice, very relaxing. There you go, called The Edge. Banana and stuff. The martabak we tried was more on the not the dessert. It's the actual meal, because it had chicken, it had egg inside. But we also had that more pancakey thing, more for dessert, the sweeter stuff. Just very good. You have traffic? Where? I don't see it. Like probably because I'm zoomed out. Oh yeah, we do have it. Where's the guy? I hear him. But I don't see him. He's past us. You guys see anybody? Nope, don't see anybody. It does look very new, very fancy. Philippine Airlines too. Yeah, I don't think they have actual flights here. I'm not so sure, but yes, definitely. Most relatable livery. They also don't have the 737-800, but close enough. I'll take it. Thanks, Mikes. Should be right on our level because it was saying +0. Yeah. -50. There's one below us. There's one right at our backs, but we don't see them. Maybe it's a rendering distance issue. There's the one. You see the guy there. There. See him? That white dot. But the closer one, don't see him. Okay, there's the guy. You can choose between prepared and this game. I haven't tried prepared, but I've heard very good things about explain. Yeah, I would highly recommend going with explain. And then next year, for sure, we will be looking at Flight Sim 2020. I think it's next gen. Some people call it either way. Yeah, prepare 3D or prepared. And there are included planes, but the really good ones you have to buy. Except for this one. This one is one of the best. It's called the Zibo. Zibo. Zibo 737, and it's free. With an amazing, perfectly study level aircraft. Even real pilots upload this, and it's free. But mostly, oftentimes you have to buy stuff. The livery you have to download, but it's also free. Yeah. And yes, in the mods list it should be there. Thanks. So that the highlight of the previous day was Martabak, but the highlight of the next day, the next day was, I think, my favorite personally. The couple had a pre-wedding party, and it makes sense because the actual wedding was more like formal. The pre-wedding was more like just a hanging out and drinking. We were all in white. There was like a dress code, so it looked very nice on the photos and stuff. But it just gave us some time to really hang out and tell stories and talk to each other and get some updates about each other's lives, because we haven't seen each other in like a year or so, more or less. It was cool. It was the highlight of the trip for me, that pre-wedding party. It was so fun. And yeah, there was a lot of eating and drinking involved, so very, very fun indeed. Spending time at the villas and enjoying each other's company. It was so cool. Let me just adjust my heading here. Yeah, FS 2020. Very much so. And in the wedding day itself, we didn't go anywhere because I spent the morning just recovering from my hangover. I haven't had a hangover in a very long time, but yeah, absolutely got one there. Can't even remember what I drank. I drank everything. I don't know, whiskey, red wine, white wine. And at one point, so we were out of water, and our caretaker would not want to buy water outside, so we had to find water on our own. So we looked around, and there was this I'm not sure how you call it. There is a small store. We call it in Filipino, we call it sari-sari store. Like these small stores outside of the houses. And they were selling some water, but they were also gathering around and having drinks and having a nice time. So we were buying water from them. The second time we went there to buy some more water, we the guys were kind enough to talk to us a bit, and they actually offered us drinks. So I took a shot out of whatever they were drinking. It was very strong. I'm not even sure what it was, but it tasted very good, very alcoholic, and I think they call it arak. In Filipino, we call it alak, which is basically alcohol. That's the literal translation. But I'm not sure if it's like similar in Indonesia or they have a specific drink for it. But yeah. The Ginebra is very famous Filipino drink. It was different, unfortunately. Yeah, but same effect, I think. It was the summation of, I don't know, Black Label and some of the different wines that they brought, and lots of donuts and chips. It's an Indian word too, arak. There we go. Okay, so I remembered the right thing. Love the Ginebra and the Red Horse. Oh yeah, in Philippines the Red Horse rides you. Exactly. Red Horse is a very strong beer in the Philippines, and there's a rumor, I've never seen it myself, but they say there's a Happy Horse. I'm not sure if you've seen that, Mikes. They say that there are certain beers where if you look at the logo, because the logo of Red Horse is a horse, but there are some beers where the logo is where the horse is actually smiling. So they call it a Happy Horse. And if you drink that, it's like, I don't know, 10 times stronger than the normal beer. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it myself. It's a strong rumor though. But yeah, that's why I spent the next morning hungover and trying to recover. But yeah, a full breakfast fixed me up, so I was a-okay after lunch. And yeah, that was one more of the highlights of the trip, the daily breakfasts that we had in the group. It was, I'm not sure, it was just such a relaxing and such a, I don't know, preparing meals together and just hanging out and talking with each other. It's just so invigorating. Like, I don't do that often, right, on a daily basis. I'm at home, I don't talk to anybody. I talk to people from work via phone. I don't speak with people face to face. I don't understand the accents of some of the people I talk with here. So I don't really get a lot of time to spend time with people. So it's a very nice change of pace. It's a very welcome change of pace. And I absolutely love the breakfast together and the preparations, because I was in charge of the coffee. So I brought my coffee beans, I brought my scale, my all the paraphernalia, and my friend took care of bringing the hand grinder, because I don't have a hand grinder anymore, right? I broke it, and I was in charge of grinding all those beans for like 4 or 5 people. Not everyone drank coffee, but yeah, it was such a fulfilling feeling of feeding other people and them enjoying the meals, the drinks, and just preparing meals together, and felt like very much like an adult. Like years back when we were hanging out, the same group of friends, we would never cook our own meals. We would just, I don't know, order something or very minimal preps. But this just gave me a wow, like we're really adults now. We can survive on our own, and we can clean up after ourselves. This is what adulting. This is the good side of adulting. It feels great. I am from Manila. I am from Las Piñas. Yeah, originally, Metro Manila. Yes. Yeah, we're not that far off. Well, a bit, but just SLEX. South Luzon Expressway gets us there. So at Sumdi, we should be climbing to flight level 360, I believe. And after we do that, we will be speeding up so we can reach Singapore in time for the end of the stream. Sumdi, yeah, after Sumdi we climb. Okay. Now I'm not sure what the phrase should sound like, but okay, let's worry about that later. Quite a ways off still. That's fine. Let me zoom in a bit so we get an idea of where the traffic is. Should have a guy on our left. 40 miles from here. I don't think the render distance goes that far though. I don't see anybody. Oh really, Mikes? I think it was just luck. Really luck on my end. I'm not very savvy when it comes to the streaming and recording things. I can be very disorganized, but I am happy that that turned out proper. Thanks. Thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to say hi so we can give a proper welcome. Or feel free to lurk as well. Either way, more than welcome to do so. 20 miles, 40 miles in front, we have somebody at 2,000 feet below us. Yeah, that's the bad thing about this. I wish there was an option to increase the rendered distance for the planes so we can see them no matter how far they are. Anyway, alright. And then so after the hangover, and I really felt bad there. It's been a while. The wedding itself was so good. The place was called Tirtha Bridal, I think. I think it's a very famous destination wedding place because the staff was so professional. They really knew their stuff. Everything was like clockwork. They knew what to do. They knew how to adjust, and the views were absolutely amazing. So if you look at my Instagram, the photos I shared, the first one was I think from the edge. The next two were the views from Tirtha with the beautiful sunset and the coastal view. It's just, wow, amazing placement. No wonder people loved getting married there. And yeah, the view of the chapel, the view of the ceremonies, it was overlooking the coast, so you could have the clouds as the background. Very scenic, very solemn, and everything was just photo friendly. Ah, it's Indian word. Ah, interesting. Holy water, Tirtha. Interesting. Good to know. Thanks, mates. Appreciate it. So, I'm trying to think the connection between Indonesia and India. Geographically, they're not the closest countries together, but it seems like there's a lot of Indian influence in Indonesia. Do you know any history there? No worries, Mikes. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Catch you next time. And thanks for the amazing participation. Catch you next time. It's just a 30-minute boat ride. Oh, really? Ah, interesting. Or I have to, as always, I suck at geography. That makes a lot of sense now. So, that's because Indonesia is so huge. I guess a certain part of it is very close to India. Thanks, man. Good night. Take care. Looking forward to the next time. So, help me out a bit, Jay. India. That sure is India, Hyderabad. So I'm guessing here, Chennai, Andaman and Nicobar Islands is near to that. These guys, Mount Fuller. Ah. So this is still Indonesia, is it? Narcondam Island. That's India already. Ah, okay. And this is Indonesia. Banda Aceh. Is that Aceh? I see. That explains a lot. So that's why. Cool. Man, Indonesia is humongous, huh? All the way there. And this one as well, I think. Or is that Malaysia? I keep getting confused. Yeah. And Australia is not that far off. Well, I mean, Australia is huge. Some of our friends came from Sydney to Bali. Took them 6 hours, I think. Our flight from Singapore to Bali is 3 hours, and from Manila to Bali is 4 hours. So we're actually the closest ones to Bali. Not bad. The parent language of all the languages of Indonesia is Sanskrit. Ah, Sanskrit. I see. That's why. That also explains why the language of Indonesia and Malaysia is it exactly the same? It's very similar, if not exactly the same. Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Malaysia. Cool. Learn something new every day. Almost the same. And yeah, every time a local sees us, they speak to us in Bahasa. Because we look exactly like Indonesians. Some people even told us, oh, you look like Indonesians. Makes sense. Very, very similar features. Except a few words, I see. Bali is a Hindu island. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Is Jakarta predominantly Muslim? I had an impression that Indonesia was a Muslim country. Most locals speak in Bahasa. Yeah, I think so too. Most of the ones we met as well. But yeah, the trip was over too soon. It was too quick. It's a good thing I'm still on vacation until tomorrow, so I don't have to rush things so much. Ah, I see. So that's why. Except Bali, rest of Indonesia is Muslim. East of Bali is mostly Christians. Cool. Very diverse, huh? I've never been in anywhere else in Indonesia except in Bali. Oh, that's not true. I also went to Batam, very close to Singapore. A ferry ride away. I think we should actually speed up now. And when we get to Sumdi, I'll just slow down again so we can climb properly. Let's see if we can see that guy 2,000 feet below us. See anybody, guys? It's too bad we don't see contrails anymore. Would have been very easy to see other people, other planes. Nah, I don't see anybody. Okay. Papua New Guinea, Indonesia part is kind of strict because the travel visa isn't valid there. Oh, interesting. Indonesia literally means Indian island. Oh wow. Didn't know that. Cool.
Hello, this is 611, hold 0.5. Hold 0.5 right, there, 611.
Alright, let's see how to make this work. Alright, so after Sumdi, let's request that. Let me have a look at the phraseology that the pilot to ATC is expecting. Okay. Clumsy 168, request climb to flight level 360.
9915,
Clumsy 168, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Nice. Climb and maintain flight level 360.
Aircraft calling center, say again with your call sign.
My bad. Climb and maintain flight level 360, Clumsy 168. And from here, it should be as easy as dialing up the altitude and hitting altitude intervent. That should get us back into
Clumsy
N1.
168, climb and maintain flight level 360.
I'm doing that. Climb and maintain flight level 360, Clumsy 168. And then if we look at the FMC, then we should see cruising altitude is now 360. Perfect. But the winds, oh, let's just leave it as is. Okay, good. West in Bahasa is Barat, which means India in your local language. Oh wow, makes a lot of sense geographically, huh? Nice. We also have a lot of similar words with Bahasa. Like I think lima, 5 is the same in Filipino and in Bahasa. And also I think kanan. Kanan is right. Kanan is also right with us. Although our left is called kaliwa, which is very different in Bahasa from what I've heard in the GPS navigations. Hey Ron, glad you made it, man. How are you? Kiri, there we go. Kiri is left. For us it's kaliwa. Very different. So it's kind of hard sometimes because as we are discussing amongst ourselves, oh how much step should we give the guy? And we were discussing in Tagalog, of course, in Filipino. It's like maybe lima, but and then we forget that he could understand that. So like, oh dang it, so hard to speak. Lurus is straight. In Filipino it's derecho. Very different. So sometimes you just do sign language, or maybe we were speaking. Maybe if we speak Spanish in numbers, it would be less known. I don't know. Maybe we should say 50 or something. 5. Either way, it was hard to communicate the numbers. Very, very similar words. Alright, I think so. We should be at the top of climb. Should have done this a while ago. Better late than never. They still understand. Oh, they have Spanish influence as well. I see. Dang it. Okay, so no language is safe. Sign language. Alright, let's speed this up. 4 times should be good enough. Zoom in here, and on the co-pilot side, let's change the view. There you go, so that we have more visibility on the traffic. That looks good. Thanks, Ron. Happy to be back. Happy to be streaming today and hang out with you guys. And I'm not sure how I can manage to record a video for later because I cannot post the footage of this VOD yet, of the stream yet. Twitch has this 24-hour rule where you cannot post anything in YouTube for 24 hours. People don't normally follow that anymore, but I'd like to stay within the rules to be on the safe side. So I'll try to record something for later. We'll see if I can manage. Welcome back, Scotsman.
168, contact Jakarta Center on 120.9 or have a good afternoon.
Center on 120.9er, Clumsy 168. Good afternoon. I think Alex is bussing, not trucking. Excited to see the photos. Center, Clumsy 168 at flight level 360.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Just like you. Only difference is Scotsman is in Amsterdam. Let's go ahead and load up the charts while we're waiting here. Whiskey Sierra Sierra. Actually, yeah, if you look at it, elevation is only 2 feet. So, right on sea level. So, we'll be joining the Surba something. Arrival Surga 1 Bravo. Okay. Surga 1 Bravo arrival. That's the one. On to ILS 20, right? ILS 20, right? And then let's load up the airport as well. And also the parking gates. Parking bays, there you go. Perfect. How far are we? Do we see ourselves yet? Nope. There we are. Super far away. Any interesting stuff I should take note of? Any VORs I should tune into? Interesting enough, no. From Surga to Ikago, turn left to Ikima, turn right to Ibula. Okay. And then we hold here until we get clearance to approach. Actually trying to find different buses to use with the passenger one. Didn't go anywhere. The Scania one was good before. I'm not sure if it was progressed very far though. If it's still compatible. I tuned the ILS instead. 108.9. Is that consistent? India Charlie Hotel. India Charlie Hotel. 108.9 203. Yes, perfect. Okay, let's tune that. ILS 108.9. Okay, good. Do I have any en route VORs? I think this is a purely RNAV flight plan, very modern. And let me have a look at the chart. No, I don't see any. No VORs here. Nada. Okay, fine. 20 right is that one. Okay. We do have a Tekong 116.5. I think we can trace that at least. 203 course. Let's set that here. Doesn't work with the X11. Ah, I see. It's too bad. It was a very good one. Okay. So 116.5 VOR. Switch that over for now. bring that back up.
Channel 910, between level 370.
Do we have... Are we within range? No, we're still too far away. That's fine.
Confirm, report to which point? Channel 910.
Channel 910, 1 kilo.
Hold the data, Channel 910.
Yeah, there we are. Top of descent exactly at the 108 fix. 108 mile fix. Perfect calculation there because we are right at the airport is right at sea level. We should also plug in the descent weather, descent winds, so that we get more accurate estimates and speed adjustments from the plane. So let's go and schedule that one. Descent forecast. Descent 350, 310, and 200. 084 at 34 knots. 101 at 15 knots, 15 knots, and 108 at 9 knots. Now QNH at the arrival airport is, let me have a look, Whiskey Sierra 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 1015. Hey Beer Me, doing good, thanks for joining. How are you? 1015. Happy to be back streaming again. Execute. Does it change anything? I am not so sure, but we'll see.
Clumsy 168, expect the SURG-1 Bravo arrival with the circuit transition for the ILS approach to runway 20 right at Changi after Rusma cleared direct circuit.
Let's let the co-pilot take care of that.
Expect the SURG-1 Bravo arrival with the circuit transition for the ILS approach to runway 20 right after Rusma cleared direct circuit. Clumsy 168.
Perfect. Okie dokie. Let's go and check. Arrival wise, we're not yet anywhere nearby, but I think if I look at the progress, we should be arriving at Singapore at 8:39 Zulu. Right now it's 7:53, so that's like 40 minutes away. But we do have 4 times ground speed, so I think, yeah, we should be planning for the landing now. Okay, 1 sec, huh? You know what? I did not. As much as I hate it. We were trying to go somewhere, but we got stuck in the van that only day that we could go around. That day we went to Ubud. In the next days, you couldn't go anywhere anymore because of the events. I do have that handy though for the next time we go back to Bali. But thanks for making all those suggestions. I have something on my list now. And next time, we should plan our own itinerary. So it's very much in line with our preferences. Let's compute here.
Clumsy 168 descent via the SURG-1B arrival with the circuit transition to 2,500 feet. QNH is 1015 at Changi. Descend via the SURG-1B arrival with the circuit transition to 2,500 feet. QNH is 1015. Clumsy 168.
2,500. Wow. Should we descend now? So a bit early. Guess we could. They did tell us. So let's follow them. Why can I not go and say descend now? Active is cruise. I want to go start the descent. Normally there's a descent now here. Okay, anyway. Let's just leave that there. Let me double check here. We don't have any altitude restrictions until we get to Ibula. So we should be fine. Glad to see you streaming. Your 8 years got me into truck sim. Went out and grabbed a G920 and SKRS, all that. Recently noticed your flight sim stuff as well. Oh, amazing. Great to hear that, Birmi. Appreciate it. It's more than my pleasure. It's, yeah, thanks for the kind words, and happy to hear that we're also liking the stuff that we're into. Haven't played in a few months though. Wow, slightly consumed me as of late. Oh, well, tell me about WoW. How is the classic doing? I was very interested to hear about the classic stuff because I did not expect people to like it so much. The old school things.
Clumsy 168 contact Singapore Center on 123.7. Enjoy.
Center on 123.7. Clumsy 168. Center, Clumsy 168 at flight level 360.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Very good. Okay, can we finally work on the landing now? So land, Whiskey Sierra 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 20 right. Put that in feet. Now what is our landing weight? Right now we are at 4.6. We'll be at 4.0 by the time we arrive, so 0.6, so 64.1. So let's plug in 64,100 here. Get the weather from NOAA. 30 degrees. Oh my goodness, very hot in Singapore. And calculate that. Winds are not the best. It's a bit crosswindy. Oh crap. Fine. Auto brake 1 should land us where we need to, more or less, probably. Let's have a look. 20 right, halfway through. We should be able to exit. Yeah, auto brake 1 should be more than enough. We don't need to brake as much if we have such a long runway. Okay, so flaps 30. What is this guy saying? Flaps 30. VREF is 147. VAP is 152. And then auto brake 1. Okay. Let's go with that. 1 sec, huh? There we go. And auto brake 1. Good. Honestly, never got the chance to play vanilla when you were in high school. Your mom played from launch for about 5 years after migrating from EverQuest. Ah, I see. Yeah, I see it from that point of view now. Yeah, I started in vanilla. And it was nice, but I really loved how they improved it, how the additional features they added bit by bit. So I was not so excited to go back and lose all those improvements. Let's zoom in a bit here. There we go. Alright, Change the lighting. Wake up everybody. Announce that we are soon going to start our descent. And then let's plug in the decision height. Decision height is, decision altitude is 213 on the barrow. So that's 213 feet. And here, perfect, 213. Perfect. Let's tune into the ILS frequency. And we do have the VOR in range now. Tekong, if I remember correctly. The ME152 still far ways off. But let's tune into the ILS. Perfect. Courses at 203. Okay, looking good. Alright. 15 minutes before landing. 8:35, so around 8:50 Zulu. Wow, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. That feels so far away. Hey AJK, yes, Zibo 737. The most updated version. Still not sure what that does. It's the C/R, nothing happens. Maybe it's with the livery I'm using. Maybe it's not compatible with it. Not so sure. Your ILS frequency looks different. Ah, yes. You can go to the configure and customize, general config, and go in the, wait a minute, display invariants rather, and make sure that the multi-mode receiver is set to yes. That will give you the dials like this. Sure thing. I think it became available as a version, well, in 3.36 it should be there already in the full release. How far away? 40 miles from top of descent. Good. Winds at Singapore are currently 120 at 8 knots, so that would give us like a, oh dang it, 80-degree crosswind. Sheesh. Ugly. Very bad for me. But we'll make a way. We'll make a way around it. Let's accelerate this. Very close to top of descent. Do we have traffic nearby? We do not, interestingly enough. Anything to follow? Appreciate it. Let me check. Thanks Birmi. Appreciate that. And happy that you love the vids and getting into truck sim as well. We do have traffic 6,000 feet below. Okay, I should be able to slow down now. Can you spot traffic? 10 o'clock, 6,500 feet below. Nope, nothing here. There we go, there's the descent profile. Looks like we are stopping midway though. Top of descent, flight level 180. Okay, that's fine. We'll make a way. We'll make do with it. Engines. Switching to idle.
Antenna 827, flammable 3 0.
Looking good.
Antenna 827.
Back when you being a bus driver was so tiring. Oh, yeah. Speaking of bus drivers, I am thinking of making another bus simulator video. Bus Sim 18 video to be specific. I've had a request for it because the console version is coming out soon. And even though the PC version doesn't really have any update, it might be worth to make people aware that it's coming to console now. A lot of people have been waiting, basing on the comments I've been getting. Console is always a huge market. I think the Bus Sim 18 is a perfect balance between casual play and simulator feels. So I'm thinking it will really appeal to a lot of people. Now personally, I would love a more simulator heavy approach, but I mean, it's very smooth. So I don't have complaints with that. Wait. A huge update for Bus Sim 18 came out today? Oh, I didn't see that. What's new? Found a really nice Volvo bus mod though. Vintage bus too. Nice. Were you scouring the bus, the ETS2 mod sites? Good finds there.
Dam
21 knots. Tailwind. Love it. What's new with Bus Sim 18? Then I'll probably be making that vid later today then. I do kind of miss it now. I do have to reinstall it though, because I don't have space left. And then I think next week the Elite Dangerous update will be live. So we'll have to get back into that one again. Volvo bus is red and black. Oh goodness. Just for Jay. Just for Jay. Yes, perfect. Do you have details on what the update was about? Is it like bug fixes or new buses, new features? Drag required. Really? Doesn't seem like the case. Yeah, I don't think it's required right now. Text didn't show up on stream. Was it too long? Too long? It's going fasten seatbelts. The pilot usually says something like cabin crew prepare for arrival to the back, right? That's what we hear as passengers. And then when we get nearby, so I'm guessing they say that right before they reach the arrival procedures, the start of the arrival waypoint, and then before they reach the approach, they say the cabin crew prepare for landing.
Good day, sir. It's the Gopher 200.
Thanks, Jay. We upgraded the performance of Bus Sim 18, especially for the orange of map extension. Nice. Well, the performance I noticed was very good already before, but even more so now. That's amazing. New features, triple monitor support. Online radio feature. Online radio. Ah, I see. Full controller support. The map extension sucked big time. Well, I kind of like the airport. even though the planes I've been told didn't have landing gears. So if you look here, yeah, that looks fine. We have a diesel point coming up as well. Let me double check why. Arrival should be at 250 knots at Ibula. So before we reach Ibula, we'll get the diesel point. I see. Okay. And looks like we also have some planes, at least a plane, flying the same arrival as us. So that guy will also probably be turning right. If you look at it, it's perfect. You see that in Ebola, the vertical restriction should be below flight level 180. And if you look at us, we're at flight level 210. That guy ahead of us is exactly at flight level 180. So they're following the arrival chart to a T. That's amazing. And that's a perk of world traffic. Whoa, all the text from Jay. He didn't play the mission, he did sandbox mode, so you might not have noticed the issues. I see. Cars are sunken into the ground. Whole terrain close to Westfield, graphical issue. Bus could spawn in the garage. Floating fence in Westfield. Whole inter terrain close to the mountain salad. Astra Park upon the river not correctly connected. I see. So tons of bug fixes and performance improvements. Good to see, good to hear. I'll check it out. I'll try to find some hard drive space first, so I can play it. Drag required, yes, I think drag is now really required. One thing I learned from Mentor Pilot, so when you enable the speed brakes, how they are taught is you shouldn't be removing your hand from the speed brake. So right now I still have my hand on the throttle even though it's already set. This is mainly so you don't forget that you have it set. So you always keep your hand there. And it's a very good
slow to 250 knots or less.
Wilco, Clumsy 168. And it's a very good practice. Very practical. So now I know I can slow down like so. Perfect. That bus looks awesome. Yummy too. Nice. Let's go and set up for the arrival. Pressure would be altimeter QNH would be 1014 or 1015. So we'll set that here 1015. Go back to standard, so you can just swap it later. Now it seems like that guy veered off from the arrival, wherever he is. Yeah, this world traffic plugin really adds so much life to the entire sim. I love it. Hope there are more improvements on the way. Lots of options for the bus. They're all South American bus companies. I see. Coaches seem very famous in South America, huh? Probably lots of business there.
Yeah, we have some bumps on the way into Michigan, and here at the ride report at 3 p.m. 5 then. If one else 310, we will...
Do I have orthophotos here? It looks like I do. So all those clouds. All those fake clouds. Keep it as is. Transition level here is flight level 130 if I remember correctly. Yeah. There we are, another 220 knots, another diesel point there. So looks like the bug with the diesel point has been fixed. I remember before sometimes the diesel indicator would not appear, so that's good. There's a bus mod on the Steam Workshop that uses the OMSI2 buses for ETS. Wow, that's pretty cool. Although I guess they would be pretty low quality if you compare the graphics. But that's nice. More options.
Clumsy 168 contact Singapore approach on 119.3. Enjoy your afternoon.
119.3, Clumsy 168. Good afternoon. Approach Clumsy 168, descending 2,500 feet.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Surgeon 1 Bravo arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 20 right at Shambi.
Continue descent via the Surgeon 1 Bravo arrival for the ILS approach to runway 20 right, Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168 CHANGI is reporting broken. Visibility is 6,000 meters, winds are 120 at 8 knots. Current QNH is 1015. Advising runway 20 right. Right traffic approach frequency is 119.3.
Thank you, Clumsy 168. 6,000 meters visibility, not very good, but it is quite consistent with what we experienced last night. Well, yesterday afternoon during our flight back. It was a bit hazy. Winds are 120 at 8 knots. Okay. Nice. Enjoy, Jay. Do you know if someone has released some cool mods since then? I think most of the mods that are being released in the Steam Workshop are skins. I think we only had one boss, right? The Solaris Solaris Urbino. Okay, switch to local altimeter 1015. Map mod, yes. So I guess that requires a different profile altogether. Is that their airport? I think it is. We're just going to loop our way around a bit so that we're facing runway 20 right. Not sure if it's completed or not. I see. Hope they continue working on it. That's a good sign that the modding community is still active. I don't think map mods can contain missions yet. I see. Cool. Okay, looks like we've captured the ILS, TME 22.1, and closing in. India Charlie Hotel. Yes, that's the one exactly. Right, so we are in range of the ILS. Nice. We have another diesel point coming up. 190 knots at B-pop. Just get a bit of speed brakes in here. Get more of that speed brake action. Maybe align my heading as well. Alright, at B-pop, and then expect radar vectors for ILS approach for runway 20. Well, oh yeah, they'll be giving us vectors indeed. So we'll not be headed to Ipnak. Alright, I think I have to change that. It's not Ipnak, it's direct. So the arrival should not have Ipnak. Quiet. Okay, by Bebop and Idvas. Looking good. Just get a bit closer in here. Nice. Get some speed brakes action. Let's turn on our landing lights. Love that bar there. Terrain radar, let's get that on as well. I don't think we are at risk of any mountains nearby, but just be on the safe side. Oh, we're speeding up. We are speeding because of that change in the waypoint. Suddenly the vertical profile is a bit more aggressive. My bad. Last minute change got us in trouble. Let's announce prepare for landing. $1,500 is the final approach fix, and then the missed altitude is 5,000. Okay, noted. Come on. I do have speed brakes fully extended. We have a plane in front of us. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Super cool. Flying the same arrival, looks like.
Clumsy 1682 NHS 1015 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 20 right at Changi.
QNH is 1015 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 20 right, Clumsy 168. Nice. Okay, so I don't think they'll be giving us vectors. I think
Clumsy 1682 NHS 1015 at Changi, contact tower on 118.25. Have a good afternoon.
QNH is 1015 tower on 118.25, Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Okay. Tower, Clumsy 168 inbound for the ILS approach to runway 20 right.
Clumsy 168, good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 20 right, call when established on final.
Continue ILS to runway 20 right. Will call when established in final. Clumsy 168. Flaps. Extending the flaps bit by bit. We are slowing down enough without the need for help of the speed brakes. That's a good sign. We have visual of the runway. Runway is in sight. That's the one. No, that's the one. 20 right. Flaps 5. Flaps 10.
Clumsy 168, you have traffic at 12 o'clock miles at 2,700 feet.
Where? There he is. Traffic inside Clumsy 168. It's a race. Dang it. I think I could have delayed the speed a bit more. I could have delayed the flaps a bit more. That guy. Planes everywhere, I know, right? There he is. It's like we're flying in formation. Goodness. Looks like we have another one on our right here.
2500.
What's happening? Are we speeding?
1,000 to go.
What's that sign about? For lock. Approach. We have the glide slope captured. Established on final, Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168 winds are 130 at 8 knots, cleared to land runway 20 right.
That's the landing gear. I see. Clear to land runway 20 right, Clumsy 168. Look at that crosswind. Goodness. Oh, this is not going to end well. Let's go to flaps 30. Missed approach. 5,000. Runway heading 203. Perfect. Looking good. Flaps, engine start switches. Arm the speed brakes. Is that one? Okay. Recall, looking good. Auto brakes, taxi light. Alright. Right on schedule.
1,000.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, missile approach altitude set.
Removing the auto throttle, autopilot. Now removing the auto throttle. It's up to us now. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. We're a bit high.
500.
Keep it in sight.
100.
So far, stable approach.
300.
Bit high.
Approaching minimums. 200.
We'll keep it as is. Thank you.
Minimums.
Land.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Check
10.
those. Oh crap! Floating. Too much flare. My bad. Oh no.
10.
Okay, I'll take it. Oh, that would have been so nice. Only the flare. Too much flare. Goodness, I hate it. Also, I forgot to apply some rudder correction, and I did not engage my reversers.
80 knots.
Replay! Bali bang. Oh yeah, I'll try. Okay, there you go. Flaps up. Clear of active, Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168, welcome to Changey Contact Ground on
Changey.
121.0. Good day.
Ground on 121.0, Clumsy 168, good day. 121.0, okay, let's park and then let's watch the funky landing. Ground, Clumsy 168, request taxi to the gate. Hey, plane pilot.
Clumsy 168
Brace,
taxi
brace, brace,
to
what's
gate
going
200 via taxiways Whiskey Papa, Sierra Charlie 1, Charlie 6.
Taxi to gate 200 via taxiways Whiskey Papa, Sierra Charlie 1, Charlie 6, Clumsy 168.
Clumsy 168 taxi to gate 200.
200, interesting. Alright, let's have a look at that. Wow, so many gates. 200 is this one. He loves that that gate, so we should be going there via Whiskey Papa, Sierra Charlie 1, Sierra Charlie 1, and then Charlie 6. Okay, clear enough. Whiskey Papa, alright. So currently we are at Whiskey Papa. Alright, turn right and then turn left. Good. Let's turn off the landing lights. Strobes can go off. That should be Sierra Charlie 1, I think. And look at the planes on the ground. Yeah, so all these planes are actually scheduled. They're no longer just the fake planes. They actually move now. So they have their own schedules. They get pushed back. They taxi to the runway, all that stuff. Reject auto brakes can go off. Thank you. Speed brakes, clean that up. Alright. Have a good night, Scotsman. Sure thing, man. Thanks for being here. Clumsy Trucking. Catch you tomorrow. Alright. Weather radar can go off. And transponder can be out of. Alright. Flight directors can go off. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Sorry for the late reply. Just trying to remember where I should be going. Look at this. It's like a ramp. Goodness. I'm hearing a plane. Whoa, look at that. Oh, you're actually driving on the what do you call this? The flyover, the passover, overpass for planes. That's so cool. Love it. Start the APU. Thanks for joining, Explain Pilot. Sorry for the delayed response. Just super busy, getting panicky. Okay. Cabin lighting can be white, medium. I shouldn't be required to also take care of the lighting. Probe heats can go off. Should be this one, Charlie 6. Yeah, that's the one. Engine switches can go to auto. Do you guys see any taxiing planes? Oh, there's the Jetstar finally. There's a Jetstar. Maybe that's the plane that we were waiting for. It arrived already. The one from Bali. Could be. Which one is that, Jay? Let me catch up with chat. That's why you were wondering why it was so familiar. You're finishing your current 737 flight. Oh, nice! A fellow 737 pilot. Ah, Ah, the overpass, yeah. Super cool. Alright. What else can I clean up here? This should be our gate. 200. Changi is awesome indeed. Beautiful airport. And it's just keeping on growing. Nice. Is that aligned? Yeah, that should be well within the distance, within the center. Yeah, perfectly in the center. And we should be able to see that guy helping us a bit. Just tapping on the brakes here bit by bit. Should get some guidance from that guy. If it's working at least. Doesn't seem like it is though. It's not working, it's fake. Okay, let's stop here. That should be good enough. Right, APU on. Let's cut the fuel to the engine. And turn off fasten seatbelt signs. Too huge, one of the huge airports in the world. You could spend a few days just inside, you won't finish looking all the stuff. That's very true. Very true, and they keep adding more and more buildings in there. Goodness, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? That looks so pro. That looks so pro. Turn off the lights. Alright. APU bleed. Isolation valve and chimes. Good. I'm hearing something. Oh, look at that guy. No pushback needed. He just went away and oh, steer clear. This Jetstar is a rebel. Look at that guy as well. I don't think tugs are a thing here in this airport. At least in this part. That's funky. No U-turns. Goodness. I'm hearing a plane taking off. Let's have a look at where they are. Indigo. Isn't this an Indian airline? I think it is. I've never seen one in real life though. This guy is actually going to the Philippines. Singapore to Philippines, this one. Oh, look at that guy. Whoa, sneaky, Fast and the Furious. It's an A320. This is the exact flight that I'm taking sometimes. Going back to Manila. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. There's the one taking off. Indian airline. Flown that a few times to Singapore. Oh, cool. Yeah, so many stuff. Alright, anyway, let's go and watch the replay as the finale. Let's go ahead and... let's worry about that later. Let us worry about that later. Let's go to the cool stuff first. Let me turn off the pilot to ATC. Don't need that anymore. Okay, let's add a little music in here. Time's up. Not until we see this beautiful landing. Beautifulness, I think, is a bit of an overstatement. Look at that crab. Let's go. Actually, the approach was not bad, huh? Yeah, the approach was not bad. Only the flare was pretty bad. I think I flared like a GA plane. If only I flared good, this would have been a nice landing. Check close and hold. Bit high there, that's true. And here, I think I got too scared of the runway. I flared too much and it floated. And now, from there, not too bad. I recovered from there, but yeah, if only I could have need more practice. This would have been a perfect landing. Like, we were well within the landing strips here. If I flared just a little, yeah, there, I would have touched down right on that pad there. Goodness, so close. Anyway, well, not in the center line either, so there's a lot of improvement needed there. But I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, it is pretty hazy though, huh? Let's take a photo of this before we do the landing. And that one feels like a pro, like right there. Unless you get center line, it isn't perfect. That's true. But as long as you land in one piece, that's a great enough landing. Alright, let's take that shot. Beautiful. Take one more from here. Oh, look at that. Amazing. I want to see how high the nose went up. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. What is that? Like a 5-degree flare? Ideally, it should only be like a 2.5 or 3. It should only be up to that point. That's definitely a too high flare. That's why I floated. I got too scared of the runway. I think what they teach is when you get close to this point, I don't know the exact spot, but when you get close, you stop looking here and you start looking at the horizon, so you don't see the runway creeping up at you so fast. So like from here, I guess I should have, from here, I should have looked there, check, close the throttle, and hold that line. But yeah, the flare is too much. Man, so close. Alright. Yeah, we're getting there. That's a bit of a scary spin. It comes from a pilot. Good thing I'm not a pilot. A clumsy pilot, maybe. The spot is back at the thing which looks like zebra crossing where the wheels should touch. Wait. Let's discuss that debate. So, ideally, we should be landing right at the double. I'm not sure how you describe it. Maybe it's easier if I point to it. By the time we cross the threshold, the piano keys, we should be at, I think, 100 feet. Like here. If we look at this now, how high was I? I'm at 120, so it was not that bad. It was pretty close to 100 feet. Right. So we should be 100 feet when we cross the threshold. And then we should be able to land anywhere. This is the ideal spot. But those is also okay. Even that is okay. So those with the white strips, it's fine. It's not that bad. After all, it's a very long runway. This is the ideal spot, but there's a bit of room for error. So if I was able to land here, if I didn't flare so much, then I would have landed right here, which is, I'll be pretty happy with that and very close to center line. But because of that extra curricular flare, I ended up landing right there, which is, I guess, not that bad anyway, but yeah, could do much better. Yes, that's true. But yeah, these bits are okay. Ideal, those two, passable. That one I'm not sure. I guess it depends on the aircraft. But yeah, that should be fine as well. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay. But we parked pretty nicely. Looks so pro. So I'll take that. Anyway. Alright. So, we arrived in one piece, kind of. and we were able to sample the beauty of World Traffic 3. I think I'll be keeping it. After all, I paid for it already. Why not? And it's a very nice add-on. Makes everything feel so much alive. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to the stories. Happy to be back. Catch you guys tomorrow. There's room for error on the flight that I'm not on. Yes, wiser words have never been said. Alright, great. So thanks for hanging out. Catch you guys tomorrow for some trucking. I've still not decided on what we'll be doing, but I'll think of something. Have a good day. Have a great night. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks, Jay and Alex. And anyone else on the stream. Have a good night, guys. Take care. And clumsy flying. Bye-bye.